Hello, it's the beginner crafter. Welcome to another WIPTube video. Today I have quite a lot to show you. There was quite big progress on a lot of things, but I'll start with the one that got the least, and it's the Umfret, the rug that I'm making, and I can't really finish, at least for now, because one of the yarns finished, and I actually got to make 5 rows maybe, and this yarn finished. Now the other one that's supposed to be the same length, I've got still this much length, and I remember I was showing this yarn basically every time I wanted to show how much yarn I have left, and I did not really pay attention to the other one, and it's totally finished. And the problem is the yarns that I have were from a subscription box, and they are unique, so they don't really have the same yarn. They do offer like bobbins, small bobbins of yarn that you can buy if your big ball cake actually finished, but I couldn't find anything that matches this color or has like, because this one has 4 threads in it. 1, 2, I think. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has 4 plies. 3 are gray, I think, and 1 is black. And what I could do is go with 2 gray and 2 black to make it darker, but I think they only sell those bobbins with 3 plies, maybe 4 as well, so can't really work like that. So right now I'm in a bit of a pickle, and I'll need to figure out what to do about it, how to get it finished, because I don't really want to change it into black already, because it will be a huge difference, I think. So yeah, I'll have to figure out. I'll have to look at the webpage a bit more and maybe contact them to think how we can go about it, so that I can have a bit more yarn to finish, because I didn't even get to, like, after the pattern repeat, there are a few more rows you can do, and I'm not there yet. I think it's like 10 more rows, 20 more rows, I think. So yeah, so I'll have to do something about it, but for now I can't work anymore on Umfret. So I started a new crochet project, which will be the Mochila bag, and this is the bottom of it. It's going to be a small bag, but that was the kind of idea of this bag. This is the pattern I got from a Facebook page for Mochila bags, and in the files there was like a beginner's bag, so that's what I started. So the idea for it is to be small, just so you can learn the technique without wasting too much yarn, and after that all the Mochila bags should be easier to make. And for now it's quite fun. My biggest problem is the fact that you carry 3 yarns with you. You crochet with 1 yarn, and then you sort of have all the 3 yarns in here, and it's kind of annoying because the yarn tends to sort of mingle, and also especially at the beginning rounds it was very difficult to handle everything. Now that this whole area is bigger, it's much more comfortable to work. I may not be using the best yarn for it also because they recommend mercerized cotton, and I'm using Scheepjes Color Crafter, which I don't think is mercerized cotton. Color Crafter is I don't really know how to read that. Yeah, premium acrylic, 100%. These are my leftovers from last day on the beach. Crochet along from a few years ago, and I think I will be buying some more of Color Crafter because I'm really tempted to make a new crochet along that's going to start, I think, on the 4th of October, and it will be, well, you can make it into a shawl or into a ruana, I think it's called. It's something similar to a poncho, but not a poncho. And I think it's a Venezuelan type of dress or cover. And I'm really tempted to make it as a Christmas gift to my mom. So, I mean, the most recommended yarn for that is Scrumptious yarn by Scheepjes, but we don't really have that in Poland. Color Crafter is quite easy to get, so I think I'll stick to that because I already worked with this yarn and I have some experience how to work with it, and before this cull begins I'll be having more experience with this Mochila bag, so we'll see how that works. So far it's not bad, but yeah, it's not very comfortable to carry for 3 yarns with the 4th one that you're crocheting. It's just that they get tangled up most of the time, and that's something I don't really like. But other than that, it's pretty fine. Then I of course worked on my knitting project. So that's Bloom Between the Lines, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and that's great. I have another repeat finished, so that's great. Oh wow, the way it works kind of makes my camera look blurry a bit. But yeah, the effect is there. I know that I did make some mistakes, but I don't really see them, so that's also great. It's getting easier and easier to knit, so that's a good thing. I don't really know what else to say about it, apart from the fact that I did get another fuzz buzz, but it's still the same color. It's like this pure color, like without any thread of a different color, but I can see that pretty soon there is a lighter color joining, so I'm hoping the next fuzz buzz will be it. It will be a change in the hue and it will get a little lighter. Now this ourlet is, yeah, as you can see, very empty inside. I guess I've used about half, maybe less than a half, but quite a lot of it, so that's also shows the progress I've made. So yeah, that's Bloom Between the Lines. Still a long way to go because, like I said, I've got another repeat, but that's 3 extra repeats that I've made and a half. And I need to make 17 in total. So I still got 13 and a half of repeats to make. So yeah, it's a long way. But I think it's getting a little bit faster, both because I have a bit more time. I'm on a convalescence leave from school, so I don't work. I don't work at school. I don't really work in the afternoon either because I can't give lessons. So I have more time. But that also means that I get to sleep a bit more. And actually, I kind of get tired with this. I mean, it's fun. All the craft things are quite fun. But when you do them every day for a lot of hours, because you can, you get tired of it and quite bored. And it feels like a full-time job because before I could only work like an hour or two during the day, a bit more on the weekends or some freer days. But now I kind of work on it all day, and I feel guilty if I don't. But I kind of felt this week especially that I need a break from it, and I will have a break next weekend because I'm going for a trip. So I think I won't take anything with me, just to have this weekend off and try to not get overworked and bored with all the crafts that I'm making. So yeah, because I feel I need it. And also today when I'm recording it, it's like 5 p.m. right now, and I haven't stitched anything. And maybe I'll stay like that for the whole day to like have a day off and get my energy back a little bit. Yeah, now time for cross stitching. Yeah, let's start with cross stitching. Miranda, my main piece for the year. As you can kind of see, I moved from this page. For now, it's kind of finished. I do have a few threads here. This one especially, I will be stitching with it soon because this color also goes here a lot, so I can stitch on this page and fill it up a little bit with this thread and then move on here. So yeah, I'm now working with this page here, and I think this is, I think, where the page finishes. So I still haven't really worked on those two grids, but I'm making progress. I'm using the yarns that also have some stitches to be made in here, and I just need to get to those that are tangled up. So in the last 2 weeks I worked almost 1600 stitches on Miranda, and I'm at 31.8%, so I need 8.2% more to get to 40%, which will mean working all the threads. And I do want to do that because there's a needle here that it's kind of there's a knot in the thread, and I can't put the needle without cutting the thread, and I only want to cut the thread once I'm done with it. So I'm looking forward to this 40% because then it'll free up a needle for me, and of course it'll just be also a nice milestone to get through. I think 40% should get around this page, well, we'll see how that works, and if it really does get there. And also getting to 40%, well, finishing this page and having just those pages to work with, it's getting closer and closer to having to deal with the dilemma how to add canvas. Because this whole thing is, well, you can see this is sort of the size of the canvas. This is where it finishes. And I'm not at 40%. I'm not even in a third of the picture. So you can imagine it's much bigger. I made a mistake when I started. I cut the fabric for a different picture. I started stitching this one, and then I just didn't want to unravel everything. So I will have to start figuring out how to add canvas to the picture without causing too much trouble and too much visibility there. I mean, you can see there are more and more details of the sea. There are those rocks that you can see. And that's it. I mean, there should be sea all the time here. Maybe somewhere around here there will be some area of either the beach or the rock that the woman, Miranda, is sitting on. But that will happen later. Right now I'm dealing with lots of blue, gray, sometimes brownish and greenish colors, so mostly very similar threads to one another, but they do make a really great shading and detailed picture. So I really like working on Miranda. It's not the most colorful picture, but it's the tones that I really like, so it's still quite fun to work with and to work on. Okay, then maybe Avarice. On Avarice I stitched almost 800 stitches, so also nice progress. I worked on this page, a little bit on this page as well, but just a little bit, just a few stitches. And I worked mostly with black and dark brown. There you can see kind of the hairline of the sin, or the lady representing the sin. And also here I think this the hair. So quite dark. I've been working with a lot of dark in here, but at least I made a lot of progress quickly, because black is the color that has like the most stitches in all the picture, but especially in this page, it still has a lot of stitches to be stitched, so it makes a nice progress, because you can see I don't have to change the thread so much. That's what I wanted. You don't have to change the thread so much, because it's black, 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 black all the time, or almost all the time. So that also worked pretty quickly. I'm at 8.8% on Miranda, so just 1.2% to get to 10%, which is the goal for the year. And I do hope it will happen pretty soon. Then Mini Marvelous Garden. So here I got to 50%. I'm actually more than 50% now, more than half a picture. And I started cleaning up the threads. The idea for now is to go kind of row by row with the grids and just clean them up a little bit at a time. So I've done this page and this page. Now I have to deal with those, and then I go back and work like that. And I worked over 900 stitches, almost 950 stitches on Mini Marvelous Garden, so that's really great. I did finish a few threads, so they are no longer here and no longer causing any tangles. As you can see, a few are really short, so they should also get cut pretty quickly. So yeah, soon Mini Marvelous Garden will be also a pretty tidy picture. And yeah, it's more than half. So this is great, and I actually think I'm going to make Mini Marvelous Garden my focus piece for the next year, so that I get to, well, I don't think I'll be able to get to finish it, but I'll be close to finishing it after the next year. We'll see how I work with it this year. I might get close enough so that making it my focus piece next year will actually make it finished, and that would be great. Yeah, I'm loving the detail that everything is making. I mean, the tail of this peacock is getting more and more details. Also, this is a tail of a peacock, so there are also some details happening, although those are quite white areas. But in general, this picture is getting really great, and I love that. And then I've got my black work pieces. So this is this year's black work stitch along. I have almost all of August fillers. Just this one is not there because this thread, this color, doesn't get repeated until here. And because my needle that I used specifically for this black work is stuck in Miranda, well, no, it's not stuck in Miranda. The needle I was using sort of for stitching in general is stuck on Miranda. With that knot, I had to use the needle that I had for this for all my pieces that require such a big needle. And then therefore I can't just really work this, cut the thread, and still have the yarn on my needle waiting until the September fillers get in. So I will do this August filler once the September fillers come out as one page file, and I will get there with September files and September fillers, and I'll also finish the August. So I'm quite caught up, and I'm really happy about it, and I really like the designs, especially this one. I love this geometric pattern of it, but those two are also great. So I really like what's happening here, and it is possible that in the next 2 weeks, it should be after the last Wednesday of September, and that means that on Friday the fillers get put together, so I should have at least something done. So I won't need to take a break from it, from showing you what I've got on this one. And then I've got my 2020 stitch along, and I got the first row done. So this is what they look like, and I especially like this one. It's also quite geometric, and all colors are different here. And also there are very thin rows, 2 thinner rows, and there is a design for it. But I also saw, I remember a lot of people writing things on those longer grids. And I'm also thinking about doing that to just remember 2020, because it was a very different year. I'll just need to sort of design or have a look at other people's works, what I can do to memorize that year, because I actually got interested in black work during that year because I was at home so much. So I'm thinking of doing that. I still get to stitch a lot before I get there because the first thin row is here. So there still are a few grids to stitch into, and actually you have to make them first, or I have to make them first. But yeah, this is it. And at least width-wise, I got my grid correctly, so I can, I think, outline all the other grids as well, and it should work just fine. And that's it for today. I don't have anything else that I've worked on. Like I said, I started a new project, the Mochila Bag. I'm not sure I'll have it finished next time already, because this bottom part was 15 rounds and the bag part of it is, I think, around 37, 38 rows, or rounds actually. And then you get to do things to close it and to carry it, although I'm not sure about carrying it so much, but definitely this kind of like a belt or rope to have it. I'm thinking of making a kumihimo one, because then I could incorporate other crafts into it. I could also weave, but I don't think the loom that I have is thick enough and sturdy enough for that, but I'll see later on. But that also would be great if I could use those things for that. So I don't think 2 weeks is enough to finish this bag, but I really want to make good progress on it, so that when the crochet along starts on the 4th of October, I can focus mostly on that. I don't think I've ever been able to be really on time with a crochet along so far. I always had some bumps at some point, so it would be nice if I could focus on just the crochet along. But at least when I have the body of the bag, it will be mostly finished. It would be usable for some things. So yeah, I want to definitely finish that. And yeah, I have so many ideas of what I could do. What other things I could do. I just need to organize myself now that I have a lot of free time, but I don't necessarily feel like I'm using it wisely. So I need to organize myself first, and then I have almost a year of not having to go to work and being able to do a lot of crafting, maybe learning a new craft, like what do I have? I forgot. Sashiko. Yes, I want to make sashiko. Learn sashiko first. I've got the project for it. So there are a lot of things I could make. I just need to organize my work time, like my craft time, so that I work, but also don't feel like it's work, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I need to record and then edit and then post the tutorial for diamond fillet crochet coaster to make another episode of the series. So yeah, I still have some work to do, but it's mostly fun work. Really, crafting is something that gives me pleasure most of the time because I can see the progress. And that's always good to know that you're making progress. And even if you make a mistake, you either can go back and just pretend you've never had it, but you still learn from it, or you can even leave it there and still make something that has a mistake in it, but it's not really ruined, which I think is a really good thing, good mindset that I need in my life. Okay, if you've liked the video, please click the thumbs up button. Also comment on the video if you want. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing that so that you can see the progress of all the things that I'm making and even more. Thank you for watching and hopefully see you next time. Bye!